What are your questions?
Okay.
Impromptu. Yeah, don't tell me impromptu.
Yeah, okay.
I think I can answer impromptu.
Yes.
This is not an examination or whatever.
Doctor, tell me, why did you first decide to study medicine? What is?
Oh, that's a long time ago. Well, my answer, I will tell you the truth.
Yeah.
So my father is a very traditional Filipino with some Spanish descent. That's why it's Paredes.
Okay.
My grandfather teaches Spanish in the university. So, and my father is a lawyer for the poor. A lawyer for the poor. It's like a public lawyer, not a corporate lawyer. So very traditional, from the province, not from the city. I grew up in the province. And when we were growing up, he only told us 3 options when we finish high school or senior grade. He said, son, I will do my best to send you to college, but you only have 3 options. To become a doctor, to become a lawyer, and to become a priest. That's the true story.
Okay.
So, I don't like to become a priest. I don't like to become a lawyer. So, I had no choice.
Okay.
So, that's how it started. But, still, during that time, I go to college. So, it's not yet medical proper. I have to go through a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry. Then eventually, while I was taking the college, I began to be more interested with the idea of becoming a doctor. But you asked me, and that's how it started. But I was not pushed by my father to become a doctor because I had the option to become a priest or a lawyer. But eventually, I like it, and then I pursued it.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I like to learn more about the human being, a human body.
Interesting. So, what was the key point in which you said, okay, now I'm a doctor, I'm a normal, regular doctor studying everything about pharmaceutics and
about
and
medicine.
What
about
made you consider there must be another way?
Okay, yeah. So there were several turning points in my life as a physician. So before I finished medical school, I had an experience with a young boy. So I was walking in the hallway after a 48-hour duty in the hospital. So I was walking in the hallway, I finished a 48-hour duty. So that's how our duty is. It's a little bit toxic. So I was walking on my way home, and then I saw someone in the pediatric ward crying, shouting, together with his parents. A little boy, maybe around 5-6 years old. No hair, blackened arms, vomiting, and he was in the toilet. And I saw them from afar, not so far, but I saw, because I heard there was a shouting. The boy was shouting, and he was shouting like this in Filipino, but I will translate it. He was telling to his parents he doesn't like it anymore. He doesn't like it anymore. What does he doesn't like it anymore? So I look at them, being a doctor, almost a few weeks before my medical graduation as a doctor, I knew what was going on because the way he looks, I have seen it 1,000 times. He's undergoing a treatment that most of us were made to become familiar, even if we did not become a cancer specialist. I knew what was going on. So he was undergoing a treatment called chemotherapy. And then, I don't know what happened to me that day. I just stop, pause, and look at them from afar, not too far, maybe several meters away. And what I saw that day, I don't know, maybe I was so tired that day, but what I saw that day was not an image of healing, but an image of destruction. And I still remember the day I was standing in the hallway of a hospital, tired physically because I came from a 2-day duty, and I look at them. The child is shouting that he doesn't like it anymore. He was vomiting with all those, a dilapidated look. And I couldn't hold my tears to flow. And because what I saw that day, many years ago, 1999, because I became a doctor in 1999, what I saw that day was not an image of healing, but an image of destruction. And that day I couldn't hold my tears to flow, because I think that day, if I looking back 20 years later, I think that was the day that the genius of the heart opened and the arrogance of the mind began to surrender. I thought I know too much, but how come I felt the child, and we were trained, or we were made familiar with that kind of treatment. We were professionally trained, if we become specialists, to do that to a human being. And what I saw is not healing, but destruction. So I thought maybe there's another way. And after that, after I finished medical school, that was 2 weeks before my graduation as a medical doctor, I went to the registrar's office and looked at what I want to do, whether I want to become a specialist of the nose, or the eyes, or the mouth, or the heart, or the lungs, until I reached the bottom of the list. The bottom of the list is NOTA, N-O-T-A, none of the above. Meaning I didn't want to specialize by parts. I wanted to learn to see a human being as a whole. Yeah, because those were the options given. Do you want ophthalmologists, rhinolaryngologists, or ENT specialists, or a cardiologist, or a pulmonologist? But I reached the bottom, NOTA, none of the above. So after I finished medical school, I don't know what to do. And then I read a book by Dr. Andrew Weil, W-E-I-L, written by him. I found it in a bookstore. And the title of the book is Spontaneous Healing. It's a very beautiful book. He's a Harvard medical graduate that we have a similar story that after graduation, he didn't like to do what he was trained to do. So it's something like that happened to me. I was not comfortable in doing what I was trained to do. Yeah, because of that incident with that little boy. There were other incidents along the way, but that was what I can remember as one of the first incidents that made me explore other avenues of healing other than the pharmaceutical approach.
Yeah. So, which do you think is the main difference between regular medicine that is taught at university and the medicine you're conducting?
Yeah, I think the main difference, there are two main differences. The kind of medicine we were trained in the university, in medical school, is symptomatic approach. You have a problem, there is a medicine. You have a cough, there is anti-cough. You have a high blood pressure problem, there is an anti-hypertension. You have a diabetic problem, there is an anti-diabetes. So it's treating the symptom. Whereas on the other hand, it's treating the root cause of the disease, rather than just treating the symptom of the disease. So it's a very different approach. The first approach, just write a medicine. The second approach, you have to explore the lifestyle. You have to teach some healthy lifestyle, which is not part of our medical curriculum. Yeah, we do have units in nutrition, but it's elective, and it's only maybe 1 or 2 units. Elective means you take that subject, it's okay, you still pass. You pass, you fail that subject, it's okay, you still become a doctor. It's elective, it's not mandatory. Another difference is the way we taught in university. We were trained to fragment a human body into spare parts. Like, okay, you have a problem with your heart, okay, I focus on your heart, the anatomy, the physiology, the biochemistry of your heart, and refer you to a specialist that is very good in anatomy, physiology, biochemistry of your heart. But we have forgotten the whole. The other side is you look at the whole. You look at the whole, because yes, we do have parts. We have a heart, we have a lungs, we have a head, we have a brain, something like that. But I realized that the parts are always imperfect because they are always incomplete. And the whole is always perfect because it's complete. But we were trained to look at the parts. So that is the difference between intellect and intelligence. That is the difference between knowledge and wisdom. In intellect, we become razor sharp. We know the details, but we forget the whole. In intelligence, you set aside those plenty of information that we put it here, and we learn to activate another way of looking at a human being as a whole, that they become sick, because of some emotional problems or the way they eat, they drink, they breathe, they think, they say, they do.
Also because I don't know how you would call your type of medicine. Is it alternative medicine, holistic, integrative?
So when I was starting to explore the so-called beyond the road less traveled of medicine, there are so many. I explored homeopathic medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, alternative medicine, integrative medicine. There's so many. There's so many. Because even in alternative medicine, sometimes it can become like the same song being sung in a different tune. Like there is an herb for hypertension, there is an herb for diabetes, there is an herb for cancer. So it may look different, the content, but the context did not shift. It's still looking at the part, looking for a magic herb this time, not a magic drug. So I explored alternative medicine. I traveled to different countries. I went to different teachers, to different mentors, like a young human being, new graduate, new medical doctor, with the question in my head, what the heck is authentic healing all about? Is it about what we write in our prescription pad, or is it about it's already there, embedded in a human being? But because of our intellectual prowess, we have learned a lot in your university, we have forgotten to listen to the intuitive wisdom of the human body. That healing was already there since medical schools were created.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So which would you...
Yeah, so eventually I explored those different herbal medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, etc. I have nothing against all those things, but along the way I was attracted towards a more holistic approach. It was difficult because there were no specific or particular universities that have those kind of courses, especially before, around 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But now there is an integrative school of medicine at the University of Arizona, and if you are interested to shortcut the medical, then you 2-year course.
Yeah, awesome.
2-year course, yeah.
Awesome.
And then you can, I think you can take that without the MD degree.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
Because I've searched, and now there's a lot of different schools as well of integrative medicine.
Yes.
Or, so.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so you would say now you're more of integrative.
Because of my medical background, so I integrate other approach and maybe holistic in the sense that we try our best to educate our patients on that's why we have online courses. Of course, it's very difficult for me to do everything on one sitting with a patient. As you have sat with me the past few days, it's not easy. That's why I have written books, and I encourage my patients to read books. We have created some courses, and I encourage them. In fact, as I've told you, all our courses are now under a gift economy system, meaning they go to the course, they get the book. I don't care how much they pay.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
But we were not like that before. Before they pay my books for 200 pesos, 300 pesos.
There was a price.
There was a price. But I'm also growing. I'm also trying to evolve. So looking at the different dimensions of life.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, because of my experience with the sick and the dying for a long time, for the past 20 years, I have felt and seen and faced the face of fear, pain, and suffering almost every day. Like the other, I think last Saturday you were not here.
No.
I had a long day because there were a lot of newly diagnosed cancer patients. And I was the one who broke the news to them that, the cancer has already metastasized. You have a new diagnosis of cancer, and I can see it in their eyes. I can feel it. I can feel their vibration. And when I went home that Saturday, my tongue is...
Yeah, absolutely. You were exhausted.
Energy, drained.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this body, I'm not yet that old. I'm 49. This young body is brittled. How do you call that in English? It has a lot of absorbed fear.
Yeah, it's like a sponge.
It's like a sponge.
Like
so that's why I go to the mountain, I go to the beach, also to unload myself vibrationally.
Yeah, because that's the other part, right? I don't know if here, but at least in Spain, in medicine, they don't really teach much, or like scientific health professionals, they don't really know much about physical body they don't know, but they don't know about energetical body
Yep.
and
Energetic body.
you know.
Yeah.
So do they teach you this
No.
here?
No.
Okay.
No. In the university, it's basically physical.
Physical. Okay.
Basically physical. No vibration. No nothing. Even food. Food, we just tell the patient, eat a balanced diet. Some pork, some beef, some chicken, some balance.
Yeah. But they don't either.
They don't. That's why you can see in a hospital, for example, a vendo machine of a soda.
Yeah.
Or in the canteen of a hospital, a processed food or a processed meat, which you don't eat because you're vegetarian.
Yeah.
Before, I used to eat everything. Yeah. I finished medical school. I eat everything. I was an Anitarian. You know Anitarian?
Yeah.
You eat it. You eat anything, or as they call it, a seafood diet. Seafood, what you see, you eat.
Oh.
Seafood diet.
Okay.
I was like that before. Why? I became a doctor without knowing those things.
Yeah, that's really interesting to me.
Then, of course, when I tried to eat more healthy, it's not in my medical textbook, so I have to try this, fail, try that, fail.
Yeah.
It's a journey until now.
Yeah, so
Until now.
let's talk about that journey, because I feel there's a lot of people who are willing to transition to a vegetarian or plant-based diet even. So you base your diet on plants. You can have some fish or whatever, but it's plant only. So I feel that it's really hard for people to transition, but at the same time, some people that has transitioned, they put too much pressure on themselves,
And they slide back.
Yeah, and then it's not healthy because of that pressure, and then they have to go back. So, which is your story?
So it's a journey. It's a journey of trying this, sliding back, trying this, sliding back. There was a time I tried raw vegetarian, and then after 2 weeks of raw vegetarian, I looked for cooked rice.
You need it.
I looked for cooked rice. There was a time I was just juice, liquid diet. So I've tried all those things, and then then I realized I was tensing myself, tense, and getting tense. I was pushing too hard, and that's also actually the journey of my patients, because they come here as Anitarians, and I also tell them that I was like that before. So we journey with them. In the beginning, I have a 15 square meter clinic, and I cannot even showcase anything like a book. I didn't have books before. They just come and then I do what I was trying to do. I was very tempted to write away in a prescription pad, but I was trying to no, just talk more, more conversation like that. But I continue to envision, I continue to imagine how the future of healthcare look like. Whatever you are seeing right now, that's not yet the ultimate vision of what I am envisioning. Not only me, but I'm sure there are millions of people out there, including you.
Yeah.
That's why if we continue to imagine a better healthcare system, the problem is the forces of the current healthcare system is very big, very powerful. And because of fear, people have no choice. They just go through the system. But as a medical doctor who have seen the face of pain, suffering, and frustration almost every single day, I continue to work hard to envision a better healthcare system. That yes, people will die. Whether they do this or do that, people will die. Yeah. But at least they learn something before they die, or at least they expanded before they die, or at least they evolve energetically before they die.
Or they just enjoy the last days of their lives instead of taking 50.
Correct. So we continue to imagine. So right now here in our present location, Wellnessland Wellness Center, we have a small restaurant, we have a bookstore, we have this kind of setup, which is unusual already. In fact, a lot of patients who come here, wow, because usually in the hospital setting, it's not like this. It's not like this. There's a long list out. There's a long waiting line outside, waiting time of 2, 3, 4 hours, plenty of patients, quantity. Here we go more for, we want to find time, that's why it's by booking.
Okay.
So people book.
Okay.
It's not easy for me also because I was not trained to do this. In fact, I'm wishing that we can continue to evolve into a more program-based facility. They go through a program. Of course, right now we have online programs like that, but hopefully we can have a bigger place where people could stay and cook and hang out and sleep there and go to the garden as part of their therapy and pick their food in a pharmacy, Pharmacy, and the patients become students of life.
That's awesome.
And the doctors become in symmetrical alignment with their patients, not above dictating, telling them that.
Yeah, you want to like
to bring back this. We want to bring back the
level.
symmetry of healing. There are already some existing models in this world. You can check the website centersnetwork.org. This is the network of holistic centers. But still, the forces of the current medical models are very powerful. But I remember what Albert Einstein said a long time ago, that you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. Maybe you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can never fool all of the people all of the time. Who knows, the next generation will be more awakened to their higher level of truth, that actually the best doctor is themselves.
Yeah, that's actually kind of the title of your book.
Yes, and just to make things clear, when there is a difference between acute health conditions and chronic health conditions.
Okay.
The conventional medical model is very good in acute medical conditions. What is an acute medical condition? For example, if you have an acute appendicitis, don't go to a wellness center, for Christ's sake. You go to a hospital because it's already beginning to rupture.
Because you're not against
Correct.
hospitals.
Correct. No, I'm not against because I'm a medical doctor. I'm not against. Sometimes I'm just perceived as against, but I'm not. Honestly, I'm not. In fact, I do refer to doctors. It's just that sometimes we are misunderstood because of what we are doing. But this is not alternative medicine anymore. Yes, I went through that, but this is not. Of course, most people, they see us as alternative medicine because it's a matter of terminology, right? Because what is happening in the other healthcare systems, it's not standardized like the conventional medical models. You know, in a conventional medical model, you go to a hospital or a pharmacy in Germany, it's the same as a hospital and a pharmacy in Singapore. They're most likely the same. There is a cardiology department, an oncology department, like that. But in the other medicine, what? We are not unanimous.
Yeah.
You go to a holistic center in Qatar, for example, it's different. You go to an integrative center in US, it's different.
Yeah. So what were you saying before about the acute and
Okay,
chronic?
so going back, acute means it needs acute intervention. Like for example, you have a acute pneumonia. There is already an invader, an invasion happening in your lungs, a bacterial infection. So what do you need? Maybe you need an antibiotic to ward off the invader. So it needs acute intervention. Or let's say you have a stab wound. Don't go to a holistic center and attend a yoga class. Or you have a trauma like a physical trauma. You were in a car accident.
Yeah.
Hospital is at its best for acute condition, no question about that. But for chronic conditions, which are self-manufactured by unhealthy lifestyle of people, I think we need another form of healthcare.
Yeah.
That is more in tune and in alignment with nature, with healthy lifestyle, something like that. So meaning there is a place for current conventional medical models, but it should not monopolize everything.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very interesting. So could you explain a little bit the difference if I go to your clinic, for instance, or if I go to the hospital? Which is the difference in the consultation?
Okay, so
in the
now,
hospital I have to wait a lot of time.
I'm not generalizing, but that's the comment of most of my patients, that the waiting time here is much less.
Okay.
So, but what's the difference? Physically, there is already a difference. As soon as they enter my room, it's not a consultation. It's not the room door is not labeled as consultation room. It is labeled as conversation space. So it's just our creativity.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's easy to change the label of the room, right? But just to put it into context, in a consultation, I believe there is an asymmetrical relationship between the patient and the doctor. The patient is here. The doctor is here, the patient is here. Dictating something, absorbing the dictation.
Yeah.
Giving a prescription, receiving the prescription. Unconsciously maybe instilling fear because of the words that we use. And this one maybe consciously or unconsciously also absorbing the fear. Whereas in a conversation, you bring back the symmetry. There is now a symmetrical relationship between the patient and the doctor. So as soon as they enter the room, there is music, there is a sofa, and they feel more calm. In fact, there was a message I received yesterday from a patient. And he said, "Doctor, just by talking to you, I get healed already."
Oh,
I'll show it to you.
beautiful.
I'll show it to you. I received it last night. I received a message in my phone.
Yeah.
Just by talking to you, I'm getting better already. Because it's not, but honestly, setting my ego aside, it's not me. It's not me. It's just that, it's not me. It's just that they felt open. They felt more relaxed. And that is a form of healing.
Yeah, and listen to.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they can be part of their healing journey.
They trust. Before, when I was a new graduate, my clinic is the typical. There's a table.
Yeah.
There's a chair.
Yeah.
I'm looking there, and then the patient is on the opposite side of the table, not facing me, but the chair is facing there. And the first time I rearranged the chair, I put it in front of me, the chair. There's a table, chair, and another chair in front of me. And I noticed people, maybe unconsciously, as soon as they enter the room, they change the position of the chair into facing there. Because that's the usual position.
Okay.
And then, I remove the table. So they cannot easily change anymore the position of the chair. And now this is what you see.
Yeah.
And maybe in the future, maybe we will be in a tree.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? Or maybe in a farm.
In a bungalow between
That's why we have this project called Amumaland. Amuma means care. I think I've sent you something, a video about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Really
So
interesting.
yes, it's still in the air, but the land is already there. The name of the company is already registered. So small steps with the vision of crafting the future of healthcare.
Awesome.
Can we do it alone? Of course not. We cannot do it alone. That's why I just continue to share to people, and who knows, someday we will also work together, either online or offline. Who knows?
I hope so. Absolutely.
Because I believe, Anna, that small ripples joined together someday will become waves of transformation. That's
awesome.
my belief.
That's awesome. Incredible. Thank you, doctor.
For that?
Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you, Dr.
we need to go.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.